Esselamu Aleyküm ve Rahmetullah. Euzu billahi mineşşeytanirracim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. La ilahe illa ente subhaneke inni kuntu minezzalimin ve sallallahumma ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellim. Rabbena gfir lena verhamna ve ente hayrul rahimin. Ve sallallahumma ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etba'ihi ve sellem. Allahümme erinel hakka hakkan verzukna ittiba'ah ve erinel batile batilen verzukna ictinabeh. La havle ve la kuvvete illa billahil aliyyil azim. Ve sallallahumma ala Muhammedin ve ala alihi ve ashabihi ve etbahi ve sellem. We have been studying this section Araf, and we studied 146 and 147 verses last week. So Allah was explaining that those who deny the signs and meeting the hereafter will be all the deeds they did will be in vain. So they will be rewarded except for what they have done. So the following verse is our subject today. وَاتَّخَذَ قَوْمُ مُوسَى مِنْ بَعْدِهِ مِنْ حُلِيِّهِمْ عِجْلًا جَسَدًا لَهُ خُوَارٌ. Let's stop here. In his absence, we remember, inshallah we will try to remember, that Moses had gone to meet with his God, and made an appointment, and we talked about what appointment is, etc. We will again, when it comes to the point, we will discuss again. Here, after meeting with God, of course, meeting with God is not personal, of course, but it is a figure of speech. So we said meeting with God means experiencing the peak, the zenith of his realization of God belief. And of course, in the story, he went to the Mount Sinai, and there he heard a voice. But that is how Quran described it, but we have to understand and bring it to our daily life right now. So Moses is in his absence. Of course, for example, in our lifetime, we see Muhammad, the Prophet, alayhi salatu wasalam, the messenger of Allah, now is gone. And we are left with the message. In his absence, now we are applying this verse to ourselves. Now, in his absence, in this story, Moses, but we can apply it to Muhammad. Peace and blessings be upon him. So, in the absence of the prophet's people, Moses' people, started worshiping a calf. That is a big problem. They worshipped Ijl, a calf. In the story that these verses teach us, calf represents the cow they were asked to slaughter. Long ago, we discussed this. And the cow, why we discussed that, why they worshipped cow in that time, because they were benefiting from the river Nile, and when the river Nile water brings the water from high mountains in the southern Africa, and a huge amount of water, then they use irrigations and cultivate the land, and they have very generous, if you like, productions, harvest out of it. Of course, that time there were no industry in this area, this agricultural machines or something. They were using cows or oxes. So they understood that without the cows, they cannot really cultivate the land, and they cannot, therefore, they cannot harvest anything from the earth. So they regarded the cow as sacred, because it was the means of their satisfaction, their nutrition. But that time there was no technology, there were no really a complicated life as we are now after the post industrializing period. We have many lists of needs. At that time, only food and shelter, that's it. Everything is fine. Life is comfortable. Now we have to apply it to our life. So we discussed that time that we have to concentrate about our reality and ask the question, what is my calf? It means calf, if I understand it rightly, calf is the baby cow or ox. If I am wrong, please correct me. It will grow, and it will be means of cultivation in the story's case, but in my case, it will be the means of satisfaction for me. We said all of us, or each of us, has to ask, what is my calf? So everybody has some sort of priorities in their life, and this is most important for me. Another person will say, no, this is most important for me. My profession is most important for me. The other one will say, my degree is most important. My children are most important. Whatever my status in the society, my success in political life, whatever you call it, that is our calf. We, I think, discussed about it in detail. Some people may accept it, some people may not, but that is our reality. Usually, for example, not for you, but young people's calf is whether they are wearing according to the fashion, they have their iPhone, the very upgraded model of the telephone, or technological gadget, that is their cars. But they are young people, they don't know the reality of life. But after they graduate from the colleges or universities, or they grow somewhere around early 20 years of age, they started worrying about what shall I do, what's my profession, what is my income is. Or some people may be interested in getting married and what is my most important ideal spouse. These kind of considerations, we may devote our life to that aim, to that idol, calf. But the Quran says, عجلا جسدا له خوار, making low sounds, but jasad, عجلا, calf, jasadan, a body, له خوار. I don't know why this translation didn't have a body of calf, but calf has a body. I think the translator must have thought that. And without body, jasad in Arabic, there cannot be a calf. But jasad is something, living being, a body, but has no really spirit in it. That is why I found jasadan, the word jasadan is important. Not a body jasad, but usually jasad is called when a person dies, his body after death. His body is called jasad. But before death, his body is called body. So jasad usually referred to jasad, anything without any inanimate being, inanimate human body, but not alive. Though mostly our ijl, it means calf, are jasad. They don't have really any living substance in it. But this jasad, this I don't know if I say corpse, but maybe not appropriate. But body, inanimate body. Lahu khiwarun, that is important. Making lowing sounds. It was something like, when you, I don't want to, I am ashamed of making an imitation. Ooh, like this. Making noise, but that is important. Khuar has no meaning. Making making noise. Something, when you blow in an hollow jar, then like this, it makes a kind of noise, but it doesn't have any meaning. It means making lowing sounds as if it is speaking, but meaningless. Now, when you look at the matter as not a sign, matter of the universe, material side of the universe, not as signs of its creator, the qualities of its creator, but only look at matter as it is, a stone. If you don't see the meaning in it, it makes noise maybe when you hit a stone on another stone, it makes noise, but no meaning. It means if we have a calf which doesn't have meaning for us as human beings, for our feelings, that is something, how could I say, not satisfactory, doesn't satisfy human feelings, but seems to be, for example, following a fashion. let's say, wearing something fashionable, just follow the fashion. Oh, everybody sees you are not a stranger, one of them in the society, but it may seem to be satisfactory, but not really for your feelings, but for your egotistic satisfaction. It means not really, but you think it is what you are doing, or this person is doing something right. He feels satisfied because everybody accepts him in his environment, him or her, in his or her environment. But what do you gain from it? Nothing. Does it respond to your expectations? It doesn't. No, it doesn't. So making lowing sounds, but meaningless sounds. So the Quran continues. If you have any question or concern, we can talk, but I will carry on if there is no comments. Okay, Afshan, please go ahead.
So where it says making lowing sounds, the calf was making the sounds,
Yeah.
or the worshippers?
No. The calf, the idol. You call it idol. That's what I understand. Not because lahu khiwarun, not lahum khiwarun. There's only one way of reading it.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. Okay, so it was khiwarun. ألم يروا أنه yes, it was made from their jewelry. جسد له خوار. Yeah, this one. Okay. من حليهم. Sorry. من حليهم. من حليهم. They made this idol, this calf, from their jewelry. Oh, it is excellent. Something decorative things or jewelry, حلية, is something decorative, attractive. The jewelry, I think it is the right word. What does it mean? Can you guess? This calf is made from their jewelry, worshippers' jewelry. Any idea? Look, historically or classical sources say, we don't have no objection to this, but our purposes apply to our practical life. That is why we don't mention about them. But in order to help us to understand, they say they were in, it seems to be not really a speculative interpretation, but you might have heard about this. They were slaves in Egypt, so they are saved. But Egyptian people, because they were trustful people, they were giving their jewelries in trust to these people. There is no evidence in the Quran for this, or in any source, but this is a kind of filling the gaps of the story. But we have to understand that Quran, in these kind of descriptions, speaks in figurative language, in everywhere. But not in figurative. Quran doesn't speak in figurative language in rules, practical rules. actions, describing the action. Don't steal, don't gamble, don't drink alcohol. They are not figurative speech. They are, we call them jurisprudential matters. So talking about this mostly about the prophetic stories or the events happened in the during the life of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him. These are for us, and we have to understand how can I apply it to my life now. 200 years ago, 1,000 years ago, they might benefit from it according to their living conditions. Now, I am benefiting, I am expected to benefit from these figurative speech according to my living conditions. Later generations, we don't know. They may try to understand within their own living conditions. So we are trying to understand this. My idea is it was made from their jewelry. Jewelry, yes, we like them, especially women, but somehow men also like jewelry. Decorations. But decorations are good, but really doesn't answer my human needs. That is what, for example, according to Indonesian people, I see women were wearing some flowery clothes, even the professors, which so, looks ridiculous in American culture. Flowery, lots of big flowers, roses or something, material made of out of this material. They love it. But in China, there is something else. I don't know. In Scandinavian countries, maybe something different. In United States, different. In Middle Eastern culture, it is definitely a different jewelry understanding of the people. It means everybody has his or their own fantasies. What I understood, this is our fantasies. They are not really the substantial answers, satisfactory answers to human needs. Jewelry, decorations. I mean, you understood anything that we make our cough out of anything, this is not essential. The essential is what human feelings need, and maybe bodily, what my body needs. I cannot eat gold or any kind of jewelry, but it is just fantasy or for my fantasy. It doesn't mean it is haram, but making an idol out of it is very important. Today, I think that I need this amount of money, I have it, and okay, I say I'm going to buy this and that with this, yeah, but they are all temporary. They never satisfy our feelings. It means what I need exactly to understand the purpose of my life, to fulfill the purpose of my life. So how can I make my life meaningful for me? They don't provide anything, just temporary enjoyments. Not essential, temporary enjoyments. We have to be careful. When I I found the real purpose of my life. It doesn't mean that I shouldn't work, I shouldn't make money, I shouldn't eat. Never. There is no way to understand this in this way. But we have to understand what is the purpose of my life so that I will worship that one who fulfills my purpose. Jewelries never fulfill my purpose. Only transient things that I may benefit from, maybe satisfy my feelings, my fantasies. That's it. That's what I understood. Any question out of it?
Sounds like a very good point, actually. We get lost in the fantasy world or fantasizing over things. And like you were saying, yeah, we do need it because that's how we connect with the universe. But I think the point is not to get lost in the glitters or embellishment of this world, but utilize it for the purpose of one's existence.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Good comment. Did they not see that it could neither speak to them nor guide them in any way? No, now it is here not speaking. لا يكلمهم ولا يهديهم سبيلا. Of course, neither speak to them nor guide them, because it doesn't benefit at all in order to satisfy my life. They don't make meaningful speech to me. So they wouldn't be able to bring any, yes, I understand. Now my life is meaningful. Maybe teenagers may say, okay, I'm satisfied to get the fashion shoes for me and a fashion dress for me. That is what I want. That's it. Everything is fine. But this is teenage, again, imaginative fancies. But in real life, when they grow, they understand that, I mean, hopefully, nowadays, hopefully, it is not satisfactory. We understand. They don't guide us. They don't really show us the right way to find out how I can satisfy myself, my existence. اتخذوه وكانوا ظالمين. They worshipped it because they were unjust. Now, we think we may think it in a reverse direction. I am involved in this world and forget about my next life or the meaning for my life, satisfactory source of information for my life. That is why I am in this position. No, the Quran says, وَكَانُوا ظَالِمِينَ, as this word is rightly used here, where is translated as because. Because where, the where doesn't mean and only. It's one of maybe 20 different meanings of where in the context of the structure of the language. Here, because they were unjust. Now, if somebody does not look for justice, he has to assume a calf out of his own fantasy. But being just, of course, when we understand just nowadays, only justice in society, but in the usage of the word justice, in the Quran includes in the society justice in social life. It includes it, but it makes only maybe 10% of the meaning of the word. The most important justice is to give the right to something which it deserves. That is a general definition of justice for me. It includes a person's life, what a person deserves to be treated in this way. If I do treat him in the way that he deserves, in a way that he deserves or she deserves, I am applying justice in my relationship with this person. It is understandable. But we are not interacting with human beings only. Let's start like this. We are interacting with animals as well. We are interacting with plants as well. We are interacting with other beings on the earth as well. We are interacting with the celestial beings, bodies in the sky as well. So are we doing justice in our relationship with them? That is a serious question. We may understand, yes, we have to treat animals, and that is, they need to be deserved as they need to be treated in a just way as they deserve to be. Respectful animals. Okay, you can be respectful to dogs, especially these pet dogs. The owners really feel offended if you say something negative. We have to do it. But how about the right of the dog itself? Are we treating him or the dog in a just way? That is the life of the dog. How about his existence? It is existence. Are we giving the right attitude, interpretation as they deserve to be? Of course, we understand if we say that animals are just another evolution of matter in the course of such and such long time. What did we do? We reduced animal to meaningless, to a meaningless being. Now we have to question, have we done justice to this animal in its existence? Now, we understood the logic now, or the frame of logic here. Are we doing justice to plants, respecting them physically, not cutting them, not disturbing them unnecessarily? Okay, this is justice. Correct. How about in their existence? We have to be careful. Now, let's extend it to matter. Are we doing justice to mountains, to stars, to earth, to air? Are we saying these are just meaningless events, or they carry meanings, introducing their creator to me and letting me know that through my consciousness, I have to get to know my creator? Am I really doing justice? Now, let me see this. This is a book. So am I doing to this justice by respecting it, not tearing it off and dusting it, not really harming its being? Yeah, it is body. Its body is respected. If I don't open and read it, benefit from the information in it as a book, but treat the material side of the book as it deserves to be protected enough. Am I doing justice to the book? I don't think so. What do you think? Because the book is to be read. That is what book deserves to be treated. A book deserves to be treated. The universe, every being in the universe, animate or otherwise, they need to be treated as a book. And we have to respect the meaning they transfer to us so that we will be doing justice. If we don't do justice, speaking generally, to the universe, then we are zalimun, unjust people. So if we don't take this attitude, the inevitable conclusion will be, I have to make my calf and worship this as the result of my fantasy, not my real need. So calf, matter, never, ever. The book never gives me and teaches me any information and really makes me develop my human qualities itself if I don't read it. That is why any unjust attitude, any unjust people towards the universe, including human beings, animal, plants, and inanimate beings, everything, the sky and on earth, whatever they exist, if I don't treat them justly, I will find out myself inevitably worshiping my own jewelry. That is what I understood from this wonderful, wonderful verse. I would like to hear your understanding. Oh, go back. Okay, Afshan. Thank you for really contributing.
So, Doctor, can we also, I understand what you're saying about being unjust to the universe. Can we also add that they are being unjust to themselves in the sense that they are denying their own soul from ultimate human realities?
Excellent, excellent additional comment. Excellent. So, of course, human beings themselves are also included in it. Excellent. I'm very happy to hear this kind of comments. MashaAllah. Yes? Move on. 49. Okay. وَلَمَّا سُقِطَ فِي أَيْدِيهِمْ. This is an expression. If there is anyone who knows among us, let me see, Arabic somehow. Literally, you cannot read this sentence literally like the film وَلَمَّا سُقِطَ فِي أَيْدِيهِمْ. No, literal means nothing really. But as it is translated here, I worked on it today, this morning a lot, again and again. I had already studied it before, and then I want to makes the real meaning of this. Is an idiomatic speech in Arabic. There, it was dropped, literally it means, it was dropped in their hands. It means, oh man, what I've done. This is an idiomatic expression in English, in Arabic. So that's why I found this translation the best. When they were filled with regret. Oh, how can how could I do this mistake? Wow. Woe on me, they say, with the old language in English. In Arabic, wail alayya. So this is what it means. When they were filled with regret. If somebody reads it literally, it looks ridiculous. So maybe somebody may come up with what this was nothing to do with what it is translated, or it means it doesn't know Arabic. So when they were filled with regret and realized they had gone astray, وَرَأَوْا قَدْ ضَلُّوا, they said, قالوا لئن لم يرحمنا ربنا ويغفر لنا لنكونن من الخاسرين. When they understand, when do you think? Let's share our ideas. Come on, please, let's speak all together. So when they were filled with regret and realized they had gone astray, what is the time this verse is mentioning about? Okay, somebody did something or gave up. Okay, Afshan. So yes, Afshan, and follow. Inshallah, other friends will follow you. Go ahead, Afshan.
Doctor, I'm not sure, but when I read this, I think it's actually a moment when a person comes to belief. You know, that's how I took it.
Yeah, okay. When they come, of course, they have to understand that they did something wrong, and then they will really turn towards the reality and try to find out the truth and then confirm it. But here, that is a good comment. You may be right, but they realized they had gone astray. They cried, if our Lord doesn't have mercy on us and give us, we will certainly be losers. Now, as I am getting old, and everybody will experience this, I understand, which didn't attract my attention when I was young, when I was in your age. I was doing something, okay, I was practicing my religious responsibilities in action-wise, fine, but I was heavily involved in doing something related to this world, at least 8 hours, 10 hours working in order to just have 2 plates of food and a shelter. Okay. Of course, these artificial needs are endless nowadays. So these are just jewelries of this age. Essentially, yes, 2 cups of, 2 plates of food, maybe in the morning at breakfast, and that's it. That's fine for a human being to survive, and a shelter. Water is free. Food is free, but we have to get it through various means. That's why we need some money. Otherwise, everything is created freely. But now I understand what I have done in my life. Wow, I know I'm losing all of them. And one day I will lose completely. Oh God. But as our friend Arshan said, when I realized this, what I have been doing was wrong, then when I search for the truth, so, or what I have done so far, and collected, as the Quran says, enmeshed, piled up. It's very interesting words. وَجَمَعَ فَأَوْعَى. They gathered everything and they piled up the properties. I have this, I have this. Oh God, it's beautiful. It is most updated technological gadgets in my house, in the kitchen, full everywhere. So unfortunately, the kitchens are very full with lots of things nowadays. Okay, I don't care about, it's not one of my business, what is going on in somebody's house. Well, that is their choices. Everybody has his own life. But nowadays, we need many things, and we have to work harder and harder. How husband or wife works, and the other couple, the other part of the couple has to work as well, because one income is not enough. Okay, gather. At the end, pile up. At the end, we are going to leave all of them behind. Finish. And the body, we took really carefully care of the body, and I'm going to leave it under the soil. That's nothing to do with me. Then, oh, forgive us. We will certainly be losers if he doesn't forgive us. We understand at the end, but I hope it won't be very late. Yes, please. I'm very happy. Go ahead.
Well, I took it to mean the later, when they were filled with regret and realized they had gone astray. I took it to mean after we died, because then it's too late. But I don't know. That's how I interpreted it. Not that it's too late because you're dead already. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Thank you. Of course, in some heritage, let's go Muslim legacy, we see this in the hereafter. I always say, Quran speaks to me to take care of my life right now. In the hereafter, the results will be there. In the results will be there. But I am expected, I'm not opposing what you said. There are many scholars said this, exactly what you said. Well, I'm not rejecting it, but I don't find it practical now. Let's expand our view and saying that, or looking for a solution for our problems of life. Let me see the time. Oh, time passes very quick. I don't, that is how I feel. Also, I don't want to bore you. I don't feel bored at all when I am in the discussion, but I don't.
You never bore us. You never bore us. Don't worry.
Thank you very much. So, in this world, I must realize this is the truth. That is why I will get ready for my hereafter, so that I won't be sorry when everything is over. So as we are getting older and older, aging, of course, and my spirit speaks louder and louder. What have you done until now, Ali? What have you done? So, whoever created me, if he doesn't forgive me, I wasted my time. So that's lose. I am a loser now. Whoever has created me. So our Lord doesn't have, if our Lord doesn't have mercy on us and forgive us, he will certainly be loser. So if I realize now and ask for forgiveness, that is what the Quran is really inferring to me. وَيَغْفِرْ لَنَا رَبُّنَا وَيَغْفِرْ لَنَا لَنَكُنَنَّ مِنَ الْخَاسِرِينَ. If I forgive, it will be somehow useful for me now. After I die, what shall I do with forgiveness? There is no forgiveness. Finished. Everybody will get his own or her own lot. Finish. That's why I don't look at the matter even about the description of paradise and hell, description of reward, pleasure in paradise, and punishment in hell, or pain in hell. It is for me now. Oh, is it really true? So that I will get ready for it. I have to confirm it now. I have to confirm the life after death is really true while I am living in this world. That is why I don't go into this area where great number of scholars went there, because we see that references to each other, and you go the reference and the other one gives even more references, goes up to the second generation after the death of the Prophet Muhammad والسلام, and sometimes to companions. But this kind of interpretation doesn't go to companions much, except one person, mainly one person, which is famous as the commentator among the companions, Ibn Abbas. But sometimes he doesn't go in this way. Most of the time he doesn't go in this way, but great majority of the scholars say it is in the hereafter, but some scholars say, okay, it will be hereafter, but the Quran states that there is no forgiveness in the hereafter. You cannot ask God to forgive me. It is finished now. You are given your degree, and it says failed.
Can I ask a question? I didn't have a chance to raise the hand. Can I ask a question?
Sorry?
Can I ask a question?
Of course, there is no need to raise the hand. We are.
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt.
No. Please
But,
go ahead.
what you're talking about, to realize it now in this
Yes.
life, it makes it makes a lot of sense. I'm also an older person. I'm not a younger person anymore, and I am. This realization takes a long time to come to, and in my experience of living, it takes a long time to come to. So I guess what I'm saying is that, yes, it's better to realize it in this life and realize it as soon as possible, or as early as possible. But in reality, I think it seems to come with living life and seeing your mistakes and seeing that the answer isn't in the jewelry. To me, that's a very long process, and sometimes you don't really realize it until the very end, which I guess is okay. It's better to realize it at the very end, rather than not realize it at all. So I guess what I'm saying is that for me, was a very long process to come to the conclusion that the meaning is not in the jewelry. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I'll take your comment as long as it is practiced in this world, which is really true. Yeah. So that I will go continue from here with a question. Why it takes long? I'm not. I mean,
Well,
I'm not asking
you're
this question personally to you, but if
okay.
you have something to say, you say it's
Mm.
a rhetoric question. I ask to myself, why does it take so? Which I experience as well. This now, it is taking long because the degree of realization has no end.
Mm.
Now, that is why you need to realize your reality deeper, 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 and no end.
Oh,
So,
that's a very interesting way of looking at it. I actually never thought about that.
yeah, learning
Has no end. Oh,
has no end. I don't know what your specialty is. Let's say biology. Can you get
it's
to the end of biology, science of biology?
actually it's language. It's teaching English as a second language.
Even literature, English literature.
Mm.
Is there any end to it? We
Mm-mm.
need to study more. But in this world, in order to get the degree, okay, 4 years in a college is enough. But you need to do graduate studies,
Yeah.
master, PhD, publish articles.
Yeah, I know.
No end, no end.
No end.
So I, rather than looking at the matter in this way, I
Mm.
personally look at the matter to be, to start, first of all, realize and start.
Mm. Yeah, that's
Realize
great.
yourself,
Right.
realize, and register yourself with the school, get into the education.
Right.
This is called in the Quran to be on the straight path.
To be on the straight path. Right.
It means this straight path goes and reaches God. He is absolute. You cannot reach him because it is endless. It doesn't mean that go there. You can
Mm.
reach the end. That is the point. We have to
Oh,
be.
that's really helpful. Thank you so much for that.
You are most welcome. So that is why, however deep we understand from the Quranic teaching, we have to continue having these discussions, never ending until we die. No way to end it, no way to reach the end. Inshallah, we will continue.
Thank you so much. Inshallah.
You are most welcome. So my intention was if we could do this 148, it is full of meaning, full of guidance, and very interesting image of the story of Moses and this figurative speech of the Quran. We have to learn this approach to the Quran. How can I apply it now in my life and benefit from the stories rather than getting information? Oh, what is jewelry worth? Really golds or pearls? I don't know. So whether they have taken them from Egyptians in Egypt, because these people were supposed to be poor and slaves. They cannot have any property. So some people tried to go around it, and they said, oh, they were entrusted with they means the Egyptian people, excuse me, the children of Israel, entrusted by the Egyptians. They were rich. They were busy with their business. They couldn't really protect their jewelry, so they entrusted to the children of Israel. There is no evidence whatsoever. It is irrelevant for my life. I don't say they are wrong, but I feel irrelevant to me. And I leave this information behind. and try to think. Of course, there are some people, of course, although rare scholars, try to refer it to our practical life and make it really applicable in my life. So I follow this way. I don't really leave the stories in a completely figurative meaning and a kind of, again, speculative interpretation of it, as it is done by certain Sufi tradition. And I say, okay, I know what they mean. They need to be interpreted as well. I say, look, I need to interpret this verse, and you present me a story which needs to be interpreted. Come on, come to the realistic way. So I take this verse, this kind of verses, directly practical, in practical terms, apply it to my physical life right now. And alhamdulillah, we did 148 and 49. The time is okay. Oh, astaghfirullah. No. I don't want to read this comment because I want you to point out my shortcomings and mistakes. Appreciation in a common place is, I found it not useful. Let's put it in a simple way. Thank you very much. I'm just using. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Okay, let's finish. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Subhanaka la ilma lana illa ma 'allamtana innaka antal alimul hakim wa akhiru da'wahum and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen بحرمة سر سورة الفاتحة اللهم صل وعلى آله وصحبه